lot of philosophical and mythical aspects to it, but you can also just read it as a rompy story.
Oh, it's layered.
It's very layered.
It's very layered.
It's very literary, darling.
So it is literary. It's literary
yeah.
fiction, and
It is.
And it's the kind of book that you need to read more than once, because I think if you read it once, you get something out of it, and then when you reread it, you actually see the many, many, many layers.
There are.
So Lynn, I mean, I know that Wanda dies at the end of every chapter, but does she actually live forever?
I don't know yet. So I must maybe just tell you a little bit about the Wandering Jew myth. The Wandering Jew myth was created by monks in the Middle Ages to justify the prejudice of the scapegoat that had existed long before, and it was in the Bible sort of very underhandedly. And because there was, I was interested in the notion of the Wandering Jew as an anti-Semitic glyph, but I was also interested in the premise of this all is, what if the Wandering Jew was a woman, and not just any woman? A time-traveling, picaresque, sexually charged, foul-mouthed picara who wanders through the ages, etc. So what I did with the magic realism, the framing story, was that I eventually chose the 9 muses of antiquity, who nobody knows their names. They've disappeared. Nobody knows who they are, although I can recite them to you. And so every time, so she's cursed with it's not even so much anti-Semitic. It's interesting. When Jesus was going to the crucifixion, there was someone who, on his way down the Via Dolorosa, who he asked for a drink of water from. And the person said it was Cartophilus, they don't know who it was, but it was very brief, and the person said no. So in other words, Jesus thirsted, and this Jew said no. So I've included that in my tale, where, in fact, Yossi, as I call him, because it's not really based on anything, Rov Yossi is being whipped, the 39 lashes, and Wanda comes and tends to his wounds with this nard, this sort of super sort of herb that she's got. And while he's lying there, he says to her, I might read it for you, "I thirst." And she says, "You can't drink it, it's poisoned." And he says, I will tarry, but you will go on. And that's the biblical quote. And so, according to history, the Wandering Jew was cursed with immortality by Christ himself. I'm not a Christian. I'm a sort of wayward Jew, but I found that very interesting that the Middle Age guys went all the way back to the Bible to find a justification for how the Jews killed Christ, poisoned the wells, ate Christian babies on their matzah. I've been accused of a few of those. I don't do the babies on the matzah anymore because I'm more vegetarian these days. But there was a sense of which my own culture had gone back so far and had been re-engineered by so many parts of history that I really wanted to get Wanda's opinion, Wanda's take on the fact that wherever she went through history, this anti-Semitic, anti-female, anti-independent woman spirit came up. So the answer is, you'll have to read the book to see what happens, because the difference between a picaresque novel and a novel is that in a picaresque, because I channeled that form, it's a low-life individual who never grows through their experience. If you actually look at any hero's journey that involves the picaresque, they don't transcend. And because I attempted to change the picaresque into a novel, she had to transcend. So I had to save that moment for the end of the book. So when you see it, of course she lives forever.